All right, all right. Now let's get serious business. Hello and welcome to the Inside Star Citizen Review. It is that time. It is adult time.
Yes, you're not gonna eat me.
Yes, we love adult time here. It's when all the kiddos go away and we say, wow, life, look at it. I never get to, and now I do. It's great. It's a wonderful place to be in. All right, now, I'm a little confused as to why they're not having part two. It was explained to me that they didn't want to get into it in depth, and frankly, I have to say that kind of scares me a little bit when I hear that they don't want to talk about it because they didn't want to get too in depth with the subject of server meshing, and it just kind of makes me just do this. Please, sir, please get in depth. That's what she and he said at the same time at the same party. It was crazy. All right, let's watch the Inside Star Citizen Review. This Life of Mine. They're going to talk about mining. And let me say, I am a little bit upset that we aren't getting into more about what we did last week. Now, we had Noobifier on last week. And both Noobifier and I were saying, you know, they're saying a lot, but it doesn't sound like anything. And that's salesman speak, and it scared us, both Noobifier and us. I mean, not to our core, but kind of in a way where you're like thinking to yourself, all right, seriously, let's sit down and let's have a talk. It's, you know, when you get, it's like after you get in a fight with your significant other and it just keeps happening where you're fighting. And then finally one of you just say, all right, we really need to just sit down and talk with one another. And then it goes to hell. Sorry, Christy, are you watching? Sorry. Everything's great. All right, now let's watch here. This Life of Mine, it's about mining. We're switching the subject subtly. They're switching it, but it's not subtle to me. It's not subtle to me. And I'd like to sit you down at the dining room table and just look into your eyes and say, you know, what are you saying to me, honey? Exactly. And then I'll nod a few times. It's very important.
Just when we think we're out, you all pull us back in. The mining profession journey has been one of the most collaborative in all of Star Citizen, with no shortage of player feedback and game systems that have been designed for flexibility and iteration.
I don't think I'm going to be able to get over the anger. I don't think I'm going to be able to get over the anger. I feel like they're just skirting the issue. I feel like my spouse just went out and cheated on somebody and came back to the house, and she's just trying to cover things up here. And I just, Jared, you're like a cheating spouse. I can see right through you. Something happened. You need to tell us what happened.
The upcoming Alpha 319 is set to bring with it a whole host of fixes and evolutions to improve the ways that players make their fortunes in the future.
Yeah, so the last time we said that we don't do anything about mining anymore and we leave it at rest. I think it was even when we introduced the mining gadget, so it was quite a while ago. And yeah, well, here we are, sitting here again and explaining to you why we actually had to retouch or wanted to
right now.
Take mining to the next level. So here we are, and giving you something more to enjoy with mining gameplay. So when we left mining, we thought it was already in a good state. So even introducing with the mining gadget, we introduced in, from our perspective, a nice little different approach on mining. So you have to leave your ship, attach the mining gadget to the rock, then get back into the ship and then do your mining procedure. And we also thought that it will help with difficulty, so that especially new players can buy a mining gadget to bring down resistances of the rock drastically. So they
This is cool. And anytime I hear this German accent, at least I think it's German, it just makes me feel like they know what they're doing. Craftsmen, engineers, German engineering at its finest. And when he's talking about this, I'm thinking to myself, God damn. this man, he's probably doing something very amazing. First, we take the little lever and then we just pull it like so. And then we get these shiny buttons and we push the buttons all over the place and we like the buttons. Ooh, like I love it. I love it.
Have an easier experience, mining experience. What we didn't have in mind is that we also have to facilitate expert miners that still need a challenge there. So what we tackled is a general balancing pass. That is, we adjusted all the items, all mineable heads, all mining heads, all sub-items that you attach to the mining head, the mining gadgets. Everything now has different values. We cleaned it up drastically, so it is now clearer what are the positives of what mining head, what are the positives of a sub-item, what are the positives of a mining gadget, and what are the negatives that come with it. And this is more important now because we also touch the minables themselves. All the minables.
He's getting kinky now. We touch the mining equipment. We touch it in such a way. It is so exciting and exhilarating.
That you find now have different values in terms of their resistance, in terms of their instability. So what we try to do is match certain mining heads with certain materials or resources that you find. So you will have mining heads that go better with, for example,
they're making it specific
aluminum,
to the ore
and
the
others that might go better with iron. And this directly leads to the next thing. So we introduced finally iron, and iron is a ship exclusive mineable for now. We also introduced some new resources like granulite. Granulite is exclusively found in caves, and it's only mineable with FPS. And the reason why we wanted to introduce that is that, like, from the data that we gather from all of you playing, is no one uses FPS mining as a game mechanic outside of the prison. So we wanted to make it more attractive to players to use a multi-tool with
just tell us that we'll be able to eventually build mining machines in these caves and fortify them and continually suck down this very valuable material in such a way that's better than the personal mining tool. Can we do that? Yes. Okay.
Mining attachment other than just having it attached because you found it. So right now we want you to try out the new caves, find the new mineable, and I can guarantee you that it is really profitable to bring that with you. It's not as profitable as the mining as a profession, because if it's your day-to-day job, but it's like a nice golden nugget that you can find on your exploration tool. So next time you are in the caves, better bring a mining attachment with your multi-tool. We additionally cleaned up the way that resources are distributed throughout Stanton, and this is because we want.
This is a great comment from or from Oz. He says they need to make demand for lower minerals, otherwise everyone just mines quantanium. So here's the fix for that: manufacturing, right? So like they will, Oz, and that's a really good point, dude. But like that, like what happens? Like think about EVE Online. You remember there was pyrite. Isogen was like the mid-tier mineral. What was there? There was pyrite. God, it's been so long. There was titanium. There was pyrite. Those were your cheap ones. Remember that? And you needed like abundant amounts to manufacture with that. Do you guys remember those that played EVE Online? Really good comment by Oz, because what it's going to tell you is what I'm trying to tell you is it leads to the natural progression of the industry, which is like the minerals that more abundant, that are not worth as much, will still have big demand when manufacturing rolls in. So it's really important to remember that, because right now everybody's just going to go after the high grade stuff. But when manufacturing requires you to have the lower grade stuff, you will go out and then you will mine it because you have to in order to manufacture it. And that is exactly the genius behind EVE Online. That is exactly the genius why the industry was so prevalent on EVE Online when it first started, is because people went into manufacturing in droves and people went into mining in droves because they actually physically desperately needed it for player demand. Players wanted ships and guns, missiles, anything and everything you could think of in EVE Online, and they were all supplied through the manufacturing base that was all player-driven, and that demand was also player-driven. Can I get an amen on that one? And that's what I loved about it.
Can I get an amen?
How many of you remember Star Wars Galaxies? Huh? How many of you remember all the games that demanded you do something that was crafting oriented, and why the crafting aspect and the manufacturing aspect is one of the most important facets to Star Citizen? It has to be, which I have not seen too much about, and I don't think we're going to get there anytime soon. But it's something that needs to be talked about. What about real player-driven manufacturing? What about real... Now, we know there's going to be NPC nodes. We know through Quantum and everything that was shared with us years ago, because I'm going to get a lot of people to go, you don't know anything about this. Motherfuckers, I've been following this since 2013. Get out of my face. Like those people, you can just find the door. You can shut that door and you can walk to the left. Okay, like I've been doing this a very long time. I know the progression. I know what's to be expected. I know what's coming down the pipe. I want serious focus on manufacturing. I'm glad we're getting another layer of mining. This is like mining version 3. I'm happy that they're continuing to evolve it. I'm happy that this dude found a way to create some type of mineral in the caves that you have to have your personal mining tool to bring people down into the caves, to bring people there and have like some type of action down in those caves. I'm happy about all that. But like Oz has mentioned, why are people going to go after the low grade stuff? And they're not right now. They're not right now. They will only go after it when they need it for what, everybody? Ladies and gentlemen, let's just all say it together. Manufacturing. Which involves Quantum. Version 1 baby phase of manufacturing will be done with nodes on planets and moons that are NPC controlled for now through Quantum, which is the algorithm that's supposed to give us a relative human kind of supply-demand mechanic that we have not heard anything about in a very long time. And while I'm happy we're hearing about this, I really need an economic talk. Now, a lot of people, when I say economy, it's like this. Right, Pepe? Pepe, wake up. Pepe, wake up. All right. But it is very important. It ties into everything. It ties into the life. Industry, economy, manufacturing, all these things are the bones. They're the structural parts to a game. And we need to hear about these structural pieces. This is great. This is an evolution. Mining version 3. This is wonderful. But let's get serious. Let's talk about the structural changes we want to see in this genre of gaming. For people who love economic gameplay, for people who love industrial gameplay, for people that love science gameplay. That even puts that's even a factor into all this for industry. We got the medical. That's great. We got a baby version of refining. That's great. We need more. And we need more focus on it. Flight experience, very important to me. Love the PvP. Absolutely. High priority. Above that, server meshing. All the things that they're not talking about tonight that I wish was a part 2. Okay. Let's get into that, and let's get into the bones of the game. Let's talk about the things that need to be worked on. We're talked about. Quantum. Definitely. Let's talk about that. I'm glad we have this, but I want more. I want more. And shame on you guys. Shame on you guys for not. Shame on you guys. Shame, Bell. I'm shaming you guys. Come on.
Shame.
Come on, Jared. Come on,
Shame.
guys. For real. I think it's very well deserved.
To make resource gathering future-proof. With the introduction of crafting that will come further down the road,
Yes.
with this first implementation with the hull scraping gameplay. You
just played
already got a glimpse of it. But what is important there is that we get a better control of where to find certain materials. And also, from our perspective, it's more interesting for players to know where they have to go to find certain material types. So what we did is we defined standard materials and quality or like rarity-based materials. Standard materials are something like copper, like iron, like something that you know from real life is used in basically every item that you find around.
Exactly as I was saying.
And those have distinct locations now within Stanton.
Good.
For example, aluminum you can only find around Crusader, where copper you can only find around Microtech, so there's a disclaimer, can change during our development, but just to give you an idea that we now have distinct location where you can find these defined standard materials.
Good.
That doesn't mean that you cannot find the standard materials elsewhere.
Good.
There are chances of you finding them elsewhere, especially asteroid belts get more attractive because they have a more diverse spectrum of materials. But on the planet side, like you know from Earth, we just...
Wickstree says, well, I guess we should have waited like 3 minutes before that rant, huh, DG? Yeah, I'm sorry about that. That was, I should have just waited. I'm not a very patient guy.
Have very distinct locations where you can find those rare earths.
I'm glad they're steering it
this
way.
And what we also introduced is that each of the standard material always have certain more rare or rarer materials associated with them. So this gives you a glimpse of where we are going.
At the beginning of the show doing that. You want more
Our intention is to have star systems with exclusive materials that you need for your crafting. So you have to travel to a certain star system to get the material that you need for whatever item you would like to create.
Right. Oh, it's such a beautiful game. Jesus, this is just coming along so far. You know,
There are two more things that we updated. So one thing that we noticed is that mining is a difficult profession. And we want to make the obstacle less threatening for new players. And that means that we improved our mining UI a little.
The old mining UI was one of the most developed UIs in the game. It was one of the most readable already, but we discovered some improvements we could add to it to make it more enjoyable to the players. But we had like some slight issues with, you could say, clutter, basically, with the center part of the screen with too many elements flashing. So for the next update, we moved some elements together. For example, we moved the mining throttle next to the power charge of the asteroid, since those two elements are semantically related. We've added a range bar to the left with all the ranges you need to keep in mind, like scanning,
I'll have to try it out.
blast radius, and mining range of your head. We shuffled less relevant UI elements to the bottom of the screen to clear up space on the center part and on what you are looking at. We've also changed the display of scanning to make it less disruptive to the mining experience, and we've improved a little on a bunch of things like color and element positions within each card of the screen to make it more readable.
So now it is easier for you to see what distance you have to keep from the rock, what dangers you encounter on the rock, how your mining head actually is set up right now, and all the parameters that you need to
it does look cleaner. It does look cleaner.
Know if the rock that you are targeting is actually mineable. For that, we even added a little helper that basically tells you.
I talk about this, Futz. God damn, you are so right, dude. Futz is gonna make me have a freaking meltdown here. Hold on a second. I'm just. It's the
incoming
physics.
salad vibes.
I talk about this all the time. The physics, the physics, the physics, the physics, the physics. The physics.
hey, it is very
Had to get that
doable.
out of
It's
my
an easy
system, Fuzz.
mining approach. It's a challenging mining approach, or it's an impossible one. Because now there will be impossible one.
I know.
And
I'm
this
not,
is
listen,
where
Elsie, listen, if it was said a few minutes, Elsie's trying to shame me extra hard today. I don't know. Elsie had a hard day or something, but she wants to make her point known. She's popping her finger on my forehead. She's like, that was said many moons ago. I'm trying the best I can, Elsie. Elsie, I'm trying the best I can.
our
so many
last
buttons
change
over here.
for this update comes in, which is multi-crew mining. We
So ostentatious.
thought that the size of the rocks and the power it required for multiplayer mining was sufficient, but especially with the mining gadgets, you could bring down the resistance so much that like multi-crew mining wasn't as needed anymore as we actually intended. And that's the benefit of having a game in a live environment where you, as the community, create videos, create reviews, post like comments on the spectrum.
Advertise our game for free. Hi, thank you, content creators. Can you please take some time to talk about Star Citizen? Make some content for us, it's free, and we love you for it, but we don't say we do. We just shame you like GG360. We hate that guy. He's the black sheep of the family. No one likes him, and they throttle him with a belt. Okay, no, I'm sorry.
That you are basically not as satisfied with the gameplay as you would like to be, and this is now our opportunity, and we saw the need in it to make it even more future-proof for all the upcoming systems. So we wanted to encourage players using the mole in a cooperative environment. And what we think lore-wise was that what makes sense and was an easy win for us was that because you are sharing one system, one computer on your mole, you basically have a way to synchronize your mining lasers. And by that, you get the benefit while sitting in a mole to decrease the instability of the targeted rock drastically.
Physics.
So if you compare
Fuds, look at that
this
physics.
with a prospector hitting the same
display?
rock with, like if you have 3 prospectors hitting the same rock, you will get a punishment basically in terms
There
of
we
instability.
go.
So
All
we
right.
wanted to make sure that it's still solvable. If you are an expert miner, you can counter the instability there. But it's more effort that you have to put into it compared to a mole, where with you have a high instability rock and you have 2 friends or 3 friends, you better...
Or even 4. Why just stop at 3? Let's just, hey, hi, come mine my rocks. All of you together. Yes.
Pick your mole over the 3 prospectors because you will have an easier mining
blue
experience
balls. No.
picking
I mean
the
blue
mole.
rocks.
And there's one more thing that ties in with the difficulty or increase of difficulty that we intended with this update, and that basically brings us back to the resources and the update that we did for the resources. Something we didn't have before, but we will now introduce, is that each resource composition will have an effect on the weight or on the mass of the mineable. So that means there are certain materials that are heavier
All right.
and therefore harder to crack. So you definitely need to bring friends to be able to crack the stone with the super dense materials in comparison to
He's so kinky.
resources that are
He's so
less
kinky.
dense and are more porous. So you will have an easier life or easier mining approach with them.
Only
This
the
will
most
not
pure.
make single-player mining worthless. It will make
Sorry,
it
that's
more interesting,
bad
for sure. Because, like we also will update a little bit of the trading, so it is even more valuable, or you get more profit out of even the less.
It is Pimp Master Funk Sauce.
Yeah, the less
What's going
rare
on,
materials,
buddy? Good to
because
see you.
of the
Hey, Wind Lord.
redistribution of the resources. suddenly there is a demand at the other side of the universe for aluminum, for example.
Right.
So you
Which
might wonder when...
Well, we might wonder when we're going to see that demand in the form of quantum. Can I just get an amen on that one? Because we want to see that demand hitting, and it's going to not be in the game till at least Pyro. But I want it. And I want it now. I'm getting impatient like a child. I'm being the kiddo that I hate. I'm being the kiddo that I hate, that I bitch about all the time.
This update will be available to you. And I have some good news.
Oh.
So you might have seen the content that we put in this video already.
What?
So it is already in a playable state for us. But not only that, right now we are on a good track to have it inside or have it part of the next major release after our 3.18.
All right.
We are very confident that it will be.
He looks so sad giving that announcement. Like this is a man who looks sad. Be happy, dude. Just smile. It's okay, man. Listen, we know the world's against you. We know there's so many people yelling at you right now, including myself. I'm an asshole. Don't listen to me, dude. I mean, look, I'm wearing sunglasses. It has nothing to do with the fact that I'm losing my sight at all. Let's just pretend I'm an asshole. It's not too hard. And I'm yelling at you, and look, it's my fault. And look how sad you are because of what I'm doing. And I got to say, I think I'm going to apologize for that. Can I just say I'm such a big person? Let's just take a moment to be personal with one another. And let me tell you that I'm really sorry, and I apologize for everything that I have said to you. You're doing good work. You're working hard. You shouldn't listen to a weird, bald-ass troll like myself. Listen, keep working hard. Cheer up. Smile, for God's sake, dude. Smile.
3.18 patch. We are very confident that it will be in 3.19.
Okay.
So, what did we learn this week?
We learned that your skirt, you did a little, right around the corner. You just, you just kind of wrote off part 2 that we are looking for. And we know, we watch every single Thursday here. We've been doing it for years upon years. We know what you're doing, Jared. You can't pull a fast one on us. You can't do it. Where's part 2? Tell us more about server meshing, because frankly, you're scaring me by not having a part 2 right now. Part 1, a lot of talking. Not a lot being said, but a lot talking. A lot of talking. Very similar to this show. What's up, Dark Spike? Thank you, dude. Dark Spike, love you, bro. Thanks for the financial support. You're making me live that much longer. I depend upon all of your support to eat. That $1 will buy me something somewhere. Probably not in this country. But I appreciate you. Thank you, Dark.
That resources are being redistributed throughout the Stanton system and include new additions to vehicle and FPS minables. That the UI continues to evolve and improve the player experience. And that balancing changes to everything from heads to consumables to gadgets and to the resources themselves means that Alpha 3.19 will bring a thoroughly updated experience to miners when it arrives later this year. Now, as for Alpha 3.18, it's available to all players now in OpenPTU. So don't miss your chance to get in there and bang on the pipes, as it were, to help us get things to a live release. For Inside Star Citizen, I'm Jared Huckabee. We'll see you all here next week.
I just feel like this is all types of shady. This is like a spouse that cheats on you and pretends to pretends nothing happened, brushing it under the rug. Where were you last night? Where were you? All right, listen to me. It's not easy to be the one that gets cheated on. It's not. Some self-reflection is needed, and that's what happened on tonight's show. Listen, we love ourselves. We're good people. Let's take a moment. Let's reflect. Let's look in the mirror, and let's just say to ourselves that we're good enough. People like us somewhere. All right. Tomorrow, listen, thanks for watching. If you're watching on YouTube, if you're checking out this highlight, please press that thumb. Listen, the momentum is real. We're killing it. I think the shadow ban might be over. Thank God. I think that cloud is passing us by. Views are popping back up. Momentum is back up. Subscribers are back up. Thank you very much for keeping this channel alive. I will never give up on you. I won't give up. I can't give up on you. I can't give up on you. You understand? I will never give up on you. I've been doing this for years, and I don't care how many times I get shadow banned. I'm going to keep doing what it is that I love to do, and that's just to hang out and chill with you guys, talk games, talk recent events, talk my own problems. It's wonderful time. It feels so much better afterwards. Tomorrow, we will be going over my polls. What? I don't know what. No, yes, the DG360 polls that we had on Twitter and YouTube. I think the voting is still open on YouTube. Twitter has ended, and you can vote there. Pepe put a poll up there. Unbeknownst to me, Pepe, I did not like that. I saw that, and it was rude. We're going to talk about that tomorrow. We're going to talk about a lot of other things. We got wonderful, wonderful content to watch tomorrow that you guys put in our Discord. Consider joining our Discord. Consider joining by pushing join. Who knew that that's what you could do? When you push join, you join things. All right, guys and girls, I will see you tomorrow. Thank you. Feel